All right, welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much again for tuning in. And this is the Jamaica Premier League Game Week 2 preview show. Big up on yourself, people. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're here for the first time, hit the like button again. If you're a regular, you don't know anything. Go. Massive respect to everybody who tune in from the heart. Really appreciate it. If it wasn't for you guys, you don't know if your thing now going to operate properly. So, big up on yourself. We'll jump straight into the games. You don't know anything already. This is supposed to be an exciting weekend. We have 3 games on Monday and 4 over the weekend. Should we say weekend end on Monday or weekend end on Sunday? Let's say weekend end on Sunday. So Monday is a fresh week. All right. Let's start off with the first game. Harbour versus Chapelton. Harbour coming off a draw versus Cavalier. Chapelton coming off a win versus Tivoli. So definitely, this is 2 teams who are coming at this game and quite confident that they can get the result. Harbour feeling that they get a proper result versus the defending champion, Chapelton, who felt that they came into a game as the underdog versus Tivoli, and they got the result in fashion, in fine style, that must give them confidence that this might be their chance to do something this season. But definitely, I do think that based off how the trajectory of both teams, I think this can be a draw. I think I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. It should be an exciting game. I do think both teams can concede goal. Harbour might feel that because they got a clean sheet versus defending champion, they might be defensively solid. But I do think, based off watching the game, that there is niggling issues. And if you check it out, Cavalier did play with 10 players for majority of that game. But I'm expecting a 2-2 draw. Both teams to concede, both teams to score. That definitely should be quite an interesting matchup itself. Next up we have is, and both games, this game will also, the Harbour versus Chapelton game will be played at Stadium East. That game will be at 3 p.m. at Stadium East, so make sure you come on early too. Next up we have is Portmore United versus Tivoli Garden. That game also at Stadium East, and this is a 5:30 p.m. kickoff. Portmore United defeated Dunbeholden on opening day, 2-0. Goal coming in the latter stage of the game. Ronaldo Robinson and also Marcus Reed coming off the bench. So they are scoring, and they're also keeping clean sheet. They consistently stand by that. That's their identity, defensive structure. Going up against a Tivoli Garden team who considered 2 versus Phoenix Chapelton. So I expect this to be quite an interesting game for Portmore. Portmore might concede here, but I do think that Portmore might have too much firepower at this present moment. And if they don't concede, I'm looking at a possible 1-0 victory in favor of Portmore. Very, very difficult team to break down. And at this present moment, Tivoli are leaking goals. Phoenix Chapelton could have scored more goals than Tivoli. I don't think that they can approach it, the Portmore United team, open as though they did the Chapelton team. So they will be a bit more cautious in this game. So I do think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Portmore to break them down. But I still think Portmore can get the job done. And I'm looking at maybe a 1-0 win. I initially thought that probably Tivoli would get a goal. But based on how they score versus Chapelton, even though this is football, you can get goals anyhow. I do think that defensive, because of the solidity of the Portmore United defense, I expect them to hold this one out. So I'm looking at a 1-0 victory in favor of Portmore United. Next up here on the agenda is Spanish Town and Police and Dunbeholden FC. This game is going to be played at Dunbeholden FC at 3 p.m. Spanish Town Police will be seems to be utilizing Dunbeholden pitch home turf as their home turf. So basically, it's an home game for Dunbeholden, just the same. Dunbeholden lose to Portmore United. I do think that they played fairly well, especially in the first half. So I'm expecting a better performance versus Spanish Town. Spanish Town wasn't good versus Treasure Beach. A little bit too open. and concede some very, very sloppy goals. I expect them to be a little bit better though, but I think that Dunbeholden will have a bit too much for Spanish Town FC in this matchup. I'm looking for a win in favor of Dunbeholden, especially for that Dunbeholden, it will be playing in Dunbeholden. The crowd will be out, the fans will be out. They were definitely looking to get something back, get back on the front foot, especially so early in this season. So I'm looking at this and saying, I'm going to say Dunbeholden 3-1. Next up on the agenda is Waterhouse versus Racing. Two teams who started off the campaign in fine style. Racing United smashing Arnett Garden 5-1. And Waterhouse defeating... Oh, Waterhouse play again. Waterhouse defeated Molynes 2-0. So I do think that both teams are scoring goals. It boils down to who is more defensively solid in this one. I do think based off the form that Racing is on right now, I expect Racing to give Waterhouse a terrible time. I do expect this to be a close game. I'm looking at a draw, a 1-1 draw for this one. It should be really a close game by all means. So that's it for the day for the Sunday afternoon. Going to look on to what's going to happen for Monday. Monday Night Football is back. Well, it has been back from match day 1, but it's back for catching all the western side of the country. Who's going down there? I don't know. I really don't know if I'm going down there as yet, but it should be quite interesting. We have a double header down at catching all. Montego Bay versus Treasure Beach, and I think that this is quite a good game. And two teams who are scoring goals, Montego Bay, Treasure Beach who defeated Spanish Town Police in the opener, and Montego Bay who drew with Mount Pleasant 2-2 in their opener as well. And I do think that Montego Bay played a little. I think they played better than Mount Pleasant. Unfortunate not to walk away with all 3 points, but that's how it is sometimes. I do believe though Montego Bay will have a little bit too much for Treasure Beach for this one, and I'm looking at a Montego Bay, especially at catching all. It's going to be third for Treasure Beach. Going to be really, really difficult. So I'm going to go Montego Bay 2, Treasure Beach 1. Next match for the double header is Mount Pleasant versus Molynes, and this time Mount Pleasant will have their full complement. No Caribbean Cup to worry about, so they will be going full force for this one. And I'm going to say Mount Pleasant 4, Molynes 0. This should be a real difficult game for Molynes. Let's see if Molynes can really turn up for this one and not like what they did versus Waterhouse. And the final game for the match day is Cavalier versus Arnett. Arnett versus Cavalier. Arnett Garden will be looking for a bounce back. It's just very unfortunate that they'll be playing against the league champions in Cavalier. Cavalier who are struggling to score goals. We have seen that. We have seen that in the Caribbean Cup, and we have seen that so far this season. So this is a good opportunity for them to get themselves, especially for that Arnett Garden coming back from a huge defeat. They will be looking to bounce back in fine style at that. They're looking to bounce back in fine style. I do believe though that it's going to be a little bit more of a physical encounter. Cavalier still struggling to score a goal. Will they find goals for this game? I'm unsure. But Arnett Garden will be getting back the first team players. Jaime Thomas. I think Shea Smith should be fit as well. Nelson in the middle of the park should be fit. Kelson also should be fit, ready to play. Fabian Reed as well should. So Arnett Garden should be in a better position now than what happened on opening day. So this should be a really, really good matchup. I think we might see a draw in this game as well. I'm looking at a 1-1 draw between both teams, and it should be quite an interesting one. I won't go any further. This would be complete on the match day preview. So big up on yourself, people. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, go into the comment section and tell us your predicted score lines. Big up on yourself, people. MG Sports TV. We're out. God bless. Outside. Boom. Know what I mean?